We now return you to our team battle already in progress. Asuka with her Oracle Think Tank Stride format is going up against um, Bermudas. And Asuka must have got early critted.
Yeah,
She also had to ride a perfect guard. That's unfortunate.
that is kind of unfortunate.
Then again, she is gonna Soul Blast it.
Yeah, she's gonna soul blast it, so it
So
ends up in the drop zone anyway. So it's a
and it
plus no
gives
matter
her
what.
it gives her an unflip
Yep.
if she has to use
And
one later. And guess what? Now she gets to draw 3, and she can't stride until next turn. But it doesn't matter because this is an 18k attack combined
yeah,
with whatever else she decides to do. That's what
did
else
she
she
draw
decides to
three or
do.
just draw two? Okay,
She
she did
drew
draw.
she drew 2, but she drew 1 for Lulu before she did the counterblast 2.
Okay, I was just like, don't know how to feel about that. Susanoo can't hit. By the way, I will say this: that her Scarlet Witch Coco deck now, the way it is, actually really fits what she wants to do.
Yeah, I actually was working with her on it when Stride first came out, the first day that she was online. Because the first thing she wanted to do was Oracle Think Tank Tsukuyomi style.
Mm-hmm.
And she found out that with Stride and with what you can do and with certain cards that make Stride really accessible, it's really hard to use Tsukuyomi because the Susanoo Searcher actually
Mm-hmm.
fucks up the Tsukuyomi stack.
Yeah, well, I mean, me as a Tsukuyomi player, I realized I didn't give a fuck about the stack. And yes, I actually played Tsukuyomi, and I did it
Well,
pretty
Zora
well.
was probably the most prominent Tsukuyomi player I know who just fucked the stack on a regular basis because she would always call her heal triggers and attack with them as boosters just to have more heals in deck.
That's what I did too. I'm not gonna lie. There was one
Apparently,
game
that's actually a style type. By the way, Stride.
do you remember Lynn? I ended
Yeah,
up healing like
Crystalia.
10. Yeah, I ended up healing like 10 times against her.
So Asuka just got a Susanoo to hand and put Psychic Bird back at the bottom,
Oh.
which means she's giving herself Stride for the next turn. And she's gonna shuffle the deck, meaning that critical trigger that just went to the bottom is gonna be at a random spot.
Woo, hey, look,
Critical?
a crit. So I don't actually remember seeing Wise Man in her deck the last time we fought.
That might be new. She also does run both 8k vanillas because this deck makes Tom into a win engine.
Tom OP. Tom is really OP.
Especially in this format where you can have two 8k vanillas in the deck and with Stride giving you 3 drive checks.
Yeah.
Not and with all the power that Stride has, you don't want to just guard Stride with nothing but zeros because that's a risk. Harmonix Messiah appears.
Oh,
And there's
right.
a
They don't
5k
have one.
unit in the front row. No, the only units that have actual real strides that aren't Cray Elementals are Kagero, Royal Paladin, Gear Chronicle because they are made of stride, and was that even were there even others?
I have no idea.
Nova Grappler. I think just those 4. I could
Mm.
be very wrong
Well,
about that.
Nova Grappler OP. Nova Grappler way OP.
Actually, let me think about that. Royals, Oracles, uh, Royal Oracle, Gear Chronicle, Kagero, Novas. Yeah, just those 5.
Well, Asuka's going ham.
You,
I was about to say, if there's a third trigger in that, I'm gonna be type upset.
why? It helps us.
Oh, you know it helps us this is just like I mean I can't no you know my bad string of luck where I can only drive check
Critical to
3 cards.
hand, critical to bottom, and she gets a free draw because, well, not free,
Yeah,
but it takes a counterblast 1. But
Well, it's technically
she's
free
technically past the
because
point of needing counterblast. Well, not really,
yeah,
because Susanoo needs one.
yeah. Well, I mean, she could
But for
just
that hand, it's worth it doing one counterblast.
mm-hmm.
It's better than Maiden of Libra, which needs two counterblasts and has to hit.
Hey, look!
What
Whoa! What
the hell
the
am I looking
hell is
at?
going on?
What the hell am I? Oh, she break road. That's why.
I was just like, what the fuck is going on? I see just this it triggers hit the field. I haven't seen that happen since season 2.
Since Kamui season 1.
Well, no, Kai did it too.
Kai didn't really boost with triggers though. He usually just played triggers on the field to
No,
get
Ganlu was in the
skills.
back. Ganlu was in the back boosting once.
The hell is Ganlu?
Stand trigger.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
trial deck stand trigger.
no wonder he put it in the back row to boost. You're not gonna use it as a trigger, and how else are you gonna show it?
Uh,
At this point, Asuka can take that hit if she wants to.
mm-hmm. She gonna either take it.
Well, she
Yeah.
needs to take at least one hit if she wants a counterblast for a stride skill.
Depends on whether or not she wants a stride skill. Pew.
That's a two hit. No triggers at all. And Asuka has no reason to guard this.
I'll be completely honest. In that situation, I'd actually have attacked the rear guard, but
It would have been better to attack the rear guard just because
Susanoo.
Ellie Mae must know that she's going to stride. That thing takes a
No.
counterblast one in order to do its stride skills.
Mm-hmm. I haven't
And
seen her use Amino.
I don't think she
I meant
wants to.
not Amino. Takumi Kazuchi.
I don't think she wants to use Takumi Kazuchi.
Mm.
Like, I always see her not doing it for a really, really long time. And this weird thing is that Takumi could. Oh, wait, she can't do it now because it takes counterblast too.
Oh. Heal
Heal
trigger.
trigger.
And it's going to Vanguard. Tom. Nothing.
No triggers.
Well.
She got one.
Mm-hmm.
If she had given it to Rear, it would have probably been better. But she assumed that she would get the trigger.
Yeah, which is always a nice assumption with Stride, just because Stride's kind of busted sometimes.
Not really. It gives you
It
one extra
depends.
chance to get a trigger in a check.
Look, there are times where it's just busted for no freaking reason, and
Well, it
there are other
depends
times
on
where it's like,
what the stride does. It's a stride by stride basis, but the mechanic itself isn't busted. It's just good, and there is a big
no,
difference.
I never Stride. I never said Stride as a mechanic was busted. I said some strides are busted. Well, I mean, I guess I didn't say it clearly, but
Wait, what?
what? I'm confused.
That Soul Blast skill is when it attacks. She Soul Blasted one to put that unit back into the hand so she could Soul Charge and get an unflip, but you can only do that when Ryuto attacks.
Okay then.
Which means she doesn't have the unflip. Okay, so she just put it down and then did it right there. So that she can have it. Although, Asuka could kind of claim that that was considered a cheating thing, but it does the same thing in this sense, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. By the way, depending on what happens, Asuka just won.
Well, she restands and gains 3k. The extra 3k doesn't mean anything, but the fact that she restands and gets another attack does. And that's two
Yeah.
more. Draw trigger. Even if she gives it to Vanguard, she need a crit to win. And that's not a crit.
Pew.
So for the type of hands that Asuka has had as of this point, she should have enough to guard. She should have 15k in hand. She has a
Mm,
perfect guard to unflip if she really wants to do that. Decides
yeah.
to drop Tom for guard.
Well, she's got eliminating. That was 3 heal triggers, wasn't it? Maybe. I don't know. I was counting wrong.
There's 2 in there, and she might have 1 in hand. But if she has 1 in hand, it's hitting the field.
Yeah.
But then again, yeah, see, like I said, like I said, by the way, Susanoo's ability activates.
hmm
Because there's 4 cards in hand, it gets 5k in a crit.
Critical.
Speaking of crits, unfortunately at this point, Asuka's actually kind of in trouble.
A little bit, but then she's
Well,
got
a
a heal.
little bit, but not really, because the heal is
Yeah.
going back, but she has 2 out of deck already.
hmm The opponent's also in a predicament as well because it's a 6-card hand she's got to get through with a kind
And
of
there is a perfect guard in there, by the way.
yeah, with a kind of crappy field.
Well, the field literally can't do anything,
Uh
unless Stride. But then again, this is what you call a desperation Stride, because she doesn't have any other options.
oh.
And now she's playing a Soul Blast 2 unflip 2, but she doesn't
Not
use the
using
Soul Blast 2. Perfect guard, she gets the unflip. No triggers, so it only takes a 10k block. She got a critical last turn, so she has enough to guard.
suddenly takes damage because done with game.
No, she'd rather just get another unflip. And I know
Oh,
why.
we're about to see Amino, but Takumi Kazuchi.
Never mind.
Okay, well, I was about to say in this situation, what I would just do is that.
She
Coco.
decides to just attack with Vanguard because Asuka knows that she doesn't have enough.
hmm
So she'd have to drop the entire hand just to one pass. Actually, no. Dropping the entire hand wouldn't even be enough to one pass the Vanguard, and since it has 2 crits, that would.
Well, there's also the fact that there's a grade 3 in her hand.
That's what I mean. That's why she wouldn't have enough to guard, because she only has 10k
Okay.
shield. So it's better to attack with the Vanguard that has 2 crits automatically. Anyway, good game. On to the second.